Dunbarton Board of Selectmen meeting to order for February 18th, 2021. All three selectmen are present, town administrator is here, and Lee Martell is video recording for the public, for YouTube. We may wanna close that door for her, she might be on video. And Linda Nickerson will be uploading. We've got some old business.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve the regular minutes of February 11th as amended.
Second.
Okay, motion's been made and seconded on the, February 11th meeting minutes, all in favor?
Aye.
There you go, Mike. Okay, now I'm gonna open up to public comment.
Okay, so I talked to, Dave yesterday a little bit about my driveway. Because that heavy rain is coming into my driveway now and freezing, and we can't stop at the end of the driveway. I did sand it and salt it yesterday,
Yep,
but it kept coming down overnight and did it again, and it's just there, I just slid it right out of my driveway again. So that kinda leads me to believe that this is not gonna be a good year for me again.
yeah,
So I'm hoping, I heard last year somebody's talking about maybe getting this town engineer in to look at it, but I didn't see anything about that, so I hope this year somebody actually looks at it and comes up with an idea what to.
flag us come early spring, Lee, and we'll, take
Yeah,
a look at
because
pitching that road back.
You
the way
know,
it used to
I'm
be.
working on that end of the driveway all the time. This doesn't make sense. Like I said, it's coming right down into my driveway now and working this way up the driveway, and you can't stop.
Yeah,
Do the neighbors have the similar problem?
No, it's just mine because the road is all banked my side. The drainage is on the opposite side of the road, it comes to my side.
Sounds like a pitch
It
problem.
it needs to be brought back up to where it belongs. This started about 5 years ago. Never happened before, ever.
okay. We'll address that come spring when the weather turns back in our favor. Anything else, Lee?
No, thank you.
Okay, make sure to let us forget about it.
Don't worry, I won't. I'll be shoveling it again.
All right, going to the agenda tonight. Town reports are back from the printer. We'll have our dedication at next week's meeting, for the town report, so the selectmen can grab a copy if they want, but,
For the record, I like to give kudos to the town administrator for taking it upon himself to fix the front picture on the front.
oh, I didn't even notice it was fixed. Okay, well, I liked it better the other way.
Oh, we have to have the meeting.
All right, sounds good. Now we're gonna have an update on Kimball Pond asbestos remediation for 41 Kimball Pond Road. We did get a consensus from the board this week to take a bid proposal. You don't have a copy of that bid proposal, do you, Lean? If you could grab that, I'll make it a motion tonight. But we did get a consensus, to try and keep this project moving ahead, to get the asbestos mediated out of that project, and then have that demolition done before the road gets posted, if we can proceed. Right now, it's scheduled for the 25th and 26th, next Thursday and Friday, and, we did get an emergency, permit from the state taking care of that. So when she comes that in, I'll like to make a motion for that dollar amount, so it's, above board. We took care of that this week. Okay, our town clerk, in working with Mike Kaminsky, has got us dates. We're gonna have a primary election on April 20th, 2021. And a June 8th, 2021 is set for the regular election date. And this is, Mike, what is this for? What about-
State representative.
State representative. Okay. So those dates are gonna be our actual, maybe if the candidate list is small, maybe we can avoid a primary, but I think we may still have to have one for write-ins.
The, next week, they have to, candidates should, if they want the name on the ballot, just for the public, if they want the name on the ballot, they have to stop by the town clerk probably next week to get the name on the ballot.
Okay. Going back to 41 Kimball Pond Road, I'd like to make a motion that we accept the bid from Dectam, Dectam, D-E-C-T-A-M, Total amount will be $2,700, 300 of which is to notify DES and, get that emergency work order through them. That's been taken care of. And the abatement itself was 2,400 for a total of 2,700. Can I get a second on that motion?
Second.
Okay, Bob, second the motion, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
I'd like to, you should point out that you did go out to other companies and the other
Yes.
company never responded.
yep. So we went out originally to 2 companies, the other company never responded, in fact, they responded back, said they don't do this type of work, and then the vice president of the company called back and said that they would. And I've been waiting over a week for a response from them, so we decided to move on with this company to get this taken care of. That takes care of that. We've got, Bob brought in, and I'll have Bob speak to this. It is legal to record in public places. We had one of our town employees ask about it, and their manager asked about it, which I'm glad they did. And Bob had some printing on that.
Yeah, so just to touch on it lightly, it gives you the policy for taping, videotaping on public property. And it doesn't exclude the voice because it picks it up when they're videotaping. And you can't take that out without damaging some of the videotapers. And whether you use your phone, it's all picked up in your phone, so. And it gives a bunch of examples through the whole thing so that they can understand what it's about, you know, so it is you know, I understand they want us to explain to the employee, and I guess we can mention it to the new employee, but it should be, most people should know that when you're a public employee, you're under the scrutiny of the public, it's transparent. It's the same reason we have the camera here,
Yeah.
to videotape the selectmen's meetings, for transparency, and as long as you don't hinder anyone or become a nuisance, you're free to do that, so.
I believe there's one document on the new hire packet that, kind of touches on the fact that when you're an employee for the town, you're an employee for the town when you're on duty and off duty, and that you need to, you know.
Conduct
behave.
yourself accordingly.
Yeah,
Sergeant Remenard reaffirmed what Bob just stated to Woody and articulated the same points.
yeah, and I had him share that with all the office staff.
So we have an email from the department head from the transfer station, he understands this, he's gonna give this to his employees and share it with them.
Yeah,
And also Lean's gonna share with some other department heads here.
yeah, I already have,
So that they're aware of it.
Yeah.
Okay,
but it's,
thank you, Bob, for doing that
Good
legwork for us.
Yeah, it's probably good to put on a new employee packet for the future.
yeah,
You know, the funny thing is, everybody's out there with their phones and recording everything anyways.
Right. Yeah. Okay, going on to mailbox items. Woody has given us an update and a reminder about a few things coming up. He wants us to discuss some, pay on a couple of his employees that work for him as well as himself. We'll be working on that over the next few weeks and taking a look at, surrounding towns and making sure we're in line with them as we do several times a year. So we'll cross that bridge a little bit later.
There's only a few things I wanted to add is, you know, this should come up prior to us establishing a budget and not after we've established a budget. And then you're coming and asking for increases for different people.
Yeah,
And we had mentioned that we were gonna address looking at that this year, this
Yeah.
summer, so that we could address that in the future, and whether we use, when they have their reviews, whether we use merit pay as another incentive or whatever,
yeah,
you know, but we haven't had a chance to do any of that, and we have a new budget.
yep,
And so, to me, I understand what they're trying to accomplish, but it seems premature to our getting done what we had intended to do this year.
well, I run a couple of things by, you know, we also just did, you know, we did a gift for Thanksgiving, we did a gift for Christmas. We did the COVID-19 package for part-time and full-time employees. We have a travel allowance to that department. We do shoes. We've done a lot of things to keep this department balanced, and we're trying to retain these employees. I don't wanna lose anybody, but at the same time, we might have to say no till a little time, goes by and we can, look at this and we'll
Just
look at
need to be
surrounding
able to
towns.
assess it and be able to figure out what we're gonna put aside to address
right.
that, cause that's not the only department that
We're
might
gonna
have
look
some
at-
concerns.
Yeah,
You know, and I mean,
I'm in full agreement with you, we've done a lot in a short period of time, and I think we need to put the brakes on
and to help him out with the travel allowance, I don't think they're computing the impact it has on the average part-time employee's pay and what percentage it brought them to, while everyone else got 1%. Actually, when we implemented that, it was a 2% raise that year. And when you're giving someone $75 or $100, and you look at the impact of the hours that they work during the month, they've gotten I say a fairly generous increase with no tax liability.
Yeah,
So-
that's, I don't think, there's a lot of understanding to that, and, I'd like to just step back from it and reassess, maybe we look at the pay and we take that portion away, maybe we, we'll look at it as a board and decide what the best way to go forward is, but I feel like, we've put our best foot forward now, and there's still not enough, it seems like, and that's,
The thing is, I don't know, disagree with any supervisor coming forward. I think
yeah,
timing
you don't wanna
is.
shoot the messenger.
I don't want to shoot the messenger. I think is, I think Bob's point is on, should have gone before the budget was presented. I think, it requires more information for a thorough review, and we can do that. We were gonna plan on doing that anyways.
Yeah,
And so, I'd say let's move out from a decision of with a knowledge base rather than just shooting from the hip.
yeah,
And I gotta say is to try to reach out to other communities, even if you went to New Hampshire Municipal, or you reached out to other communities, in the time of year that this was coming up, cause we've heard about it now for several weeks,
yeah,
is the same time that everybody's going through their budgetary process, And I don't think there's a lot of people who wanna pick up the phone and give you the information you wanna have real readily,
Right. So we'll, I think, we'll consider that, but we'll most likely push that down a little bit away from this,
I think you were targeting, early summer, June.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so. I think we'll talk about that, and, if we need to bring one or two members in from his team there and talking about, the fact that they're hitting their 6-month probation is a job that they've already got an increase of pay for, we never talked about paying them more when they did hit
No,
the
in fact, that was
6-month
more
point.
to reaffirm that the permanence of the position rather than the going off probation, has nothing to do with the, pay.
Right, and I'll use this analogy too. I understand that a person is a good worker, but that's what we're trying to hire, is good workers. We wanted bad workers, I guess it'd be easy enough to find someone that just wants to come in and do nothing,
Yeah,
so.
well, I look at what this board has done over the last few years to try and keep that department and keep the people, and I think we've gone above and beyond.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the next subject here, we just have another letter in the file here from Sergeant Remillard, as Mike alluded to, in references to questions that the transfer station, department head had asked about. And after reviewing this with Sergeant Remillard, he was in agreement that they're all set. I'm gonna open it back up to the public now, this is kind of a quick meeting, we didn't have a lot on the agenda tonight. So Leo, you got anything further?
No, thank you.
Bringing it back, town administrator,
Nope, nothing for me.
okay, bring it back to board, Bob,
All set.
Mike?
I just like to say kudos to the town administrator for advertising, getting the position out there and finding candidates. Hopefully next week should be a decision week.
Hope
Yeah,
so.
and the position that we have have applicants in for is,
The accounts payable and payroll, secretary,
Yeah.
And upwards of almost 8 candidates.
yeah,
9
Nine.
received.
so we'll start our review process next Monday and Tuesday for that, and,
We look forward to helping you make a decision on that.
Yeah.
Okay,
so that's good. I have nothing further for the board this week either, so that being said, I'll make a motion to adjourn at 7:14.
Second.